A lot of setup onto the Orianna, who you can look to punish. The Rumble's going to have a great time early on. Kai'Sa, Rel, just great power in terms of the team fights. If you get on top of that Orianna and just explode Showmaker or aiming, like you're in a great spot.
Is just testing the aim, and it's not going well. As Beryl is just going to stun him up. Teddy taking a fair bit of damage back as aiming with that Gatling gun getting to work. But I hope that calibrated for Andil there, and so the next time the Shattering Strike combo comes in, it's going to work out a bit better, as Sponge is going to be out of land here. Is Beryl going to try and see what he can do here as he turns it onto Teddy. Beryl is likely still going to be dead as Sponge misses! And the Shield of Daybreak actually stuns him up. Still, he's going to die, but honestly, I'm still even more impressed by Beryl. It's in the pit. But Lucid not going to be in position to try and stop that one as a bear comes down. Showmaker going to have to deal with this, and Andil, who does find that Shattering Strike. Still, Showmaker has not pressed Flash, will finally do so, as Yehu is going to pick up a turret shot as well. Sponge taking his sweet time on this Dragon, but will not be contested, so we'll be able to take that one down as well. So the tempo vibes, going to be able to do so, but Andil will vacate the area. Showmaker moving his way over, as Lucid is going to take control.
And I think it's just not a fight you're super interested in, considering the Wukong Ori combo's up and available. Yeah.
I was thinking more about like King Kong, which was like the least action King Kong ever. But anyway, we've got a flash forward here as aiming, gonna have to try and get out of there. Gets into the brush as the rest of his team's coming along. The Grand Starfall not really doing too much here as DK just wanting to get their Corki out. But Beryl might actually be paying for his sins. A lot of damage is coming through as Beryl finally going to be throwing out the flash, but the Cyclone comes in to double knockups, and Beryl goes forward to die once again. Finally, they do get the trade, but Rich is teleported in. Shiu going to come down as well. But in the end, it's actually a big trade up for DRX.
Spread the damage between Sponge and Andil, and that single target burst came in to finish off both Beryl and Lucid. This is Harold.
Yep.
Andil's coming back on the map, and it looks like DRX wanting to contest this one.
All right, well, Showmaker, possible turn angle here for DRX. Remember, Sponge and Yehu are pretty scary. Still, the Rift Herald is going to go down. Beryl in amongst it once again as Sponge taking a lot of damage. Teddy, oh man, you could feel the killer instinct.
Yeah, that was
armed and ready.
That was a Leona
there, but there wasn't actually in the end. As Grand Starfall to come down, flash out from Showmaker, the flash in from Sponge and from Yehu as well. And Showmaker will be stabbed to death in the end, but bit of an overextension perhaps as teleports are now coming on through. Shiu trying to set up for this one, but now he's 2 versus 1. The rest of DK continuing the fight, but the Equalizer comes down. The Ram comes on in, and Shiu trying to stop Yehu from doing much more, but the Acathian rains down, and Teddy's able to take down the Monkey, now aiming, having to deal with this. He does do a fair bit of damage, and Beryl is going to be once again falling. Aiming, surviving is a big deal, but this is also sole point for DRX.
Good cleanup there from DRX. You know, the target selection's great. They take out Showmaker on the bot side, and then Teddy finding an angle to punish, to take out Lucid. And it just felt like Dplus kind of scattered, kind of separated. Shiwu TP'd in alone. Ocean value in fights, and there's not that much poke, really. Well, there's a bit from Corki, and that's kind of all you're sustaining through. It's not that it's useless, just not the highest value. But DRX threatening that, definitely going to be a point of strength for them.
On going to be the next thing on the menu is DK thinking that maybe they'll just take an outer turret in mid, and that is going to happen here.
Yeah, good pickup. Teddy has to respect them and back away. DRX leant heavily down towards the bot side and gave up a lot of pressure mid, and now...
But Beryl just daring him to press bear, wasn't he? That's exactly what happened as in goes Lucid, finds a knock-up onto Teddy, another Cyclone, and down he goes! Just a little bit of brittle, and down goes Teddy. Shockwave means the end of Yehu as well, as DK spring to life here at 23 minutes.
And DRX try and move to defend the bot lane and just end up completely caught out. Dplus used that pressure they had mid, used the control they had in the enemy jungle to find 2 great picks, and now this Atakan's just a free pickup. And I'm not even sure if DRX can do anything about the Dragon either.
Well, you can see there is at least an Equalizer there if Rich wants to risk it, but there's also so many brushes, right, with this Ocean Rift. So it's just very dark and scary to get on in here. There's the knock-up on Andil as well as, yeah, they don't want to risk losing too much more. The Otacon is going to be taken, but Andil still has to flash away. And now Showmaker and Shiu are going to be enough to kill Sponge if he sticks around for too long.
for Contester a steal. And the thing is, DRX had some big spikes coming in. You know, 2 items on the Rumble, 2 items on the Pantheon, 2 items on the Kai'Sa and the Annie. They were ready. They are running out of time quickly.
Well, he's also going to take
don't
the
do Scuttle Crab. You need to be there for Baron.
Nah, better get the Crab. He's going to get the Crab, though. As he does ult in, the Baron does go down.
What?
Crab wasn't even secured, so not even going to be able to get the Consolation Crab.
That passes. I mean, you can't just kill the Rumble. You just don't have the damage.
Well, Yehu is going to get missed by a Zenith Blade. Shoutouts to our previous series as now Showmaker gets dove on by Sponge, but that is not really where he wants to be. Showmaker and Aiming are actually cut off by from the rest of the team though, and Teddy is free hitting.
Okay.
They still just can't get in, as Aiming now might be able to help his Ornn make his way out. But that is way more than DRX could have ever hoped for. Building towards G8 for item number 3 when that comes through. It's going to be very, very scary. Same to be said for Sponge though. As Lucid once again going to get engaged on, but Beryl very happy to just tank up as much as they want to dish out. DRX now moving over, wanting to get themselves a soul if they can find it. DK really don't want them to do that, but the split pushing on is something they need to respect. Magnustorm collects a couple of them as Aiming is going to be the focus. Benandil going to be going down first. The Ram coming through. Yehu able to actually walk his way out, and Aiming will be taken down. There goes Lucid as well, and this time Showmaker will survive, but Beryl is also going to be dead. Rich picks up that one, and Shiu is just waddling about because he wasn't there.
Andal with a beautiful engage there, managing to find it, and the layering of the damage on top just completely cooks Aiming. You know, Teddy doesn't immediately jump in, doesn't get blown up, the recourse isn't there. And as much as Dplus try to fight their way out of it, it's so hard.
This is going to mean that DRX can just go for these blades over and over again. Rich's health bar not going to be low for very much longer, as the Ram is going to be called out once again. Gets a cheeky little knock up onto Sponge, but now he's low and he's just dead.
Wow.
Shio, I think, overestimating how tanky he was.
Yeah, there's a lot of shred between the double blood ladders, the black cleaver on Sponge, a lot of resistance shred coming through, and he didn't actually have that much armor going into that, so he is even more of a threat. And I feel like Aiming's been sitting on these items for a while, doesn't have his IE yet.
I've seen this one before. This time, there is the rest of DK over here. The engage from Andal, not going to be quite as pivotal, but Rich is making his way in. Choke point going to be there with the equalizer. That is so much value. And DK now going to have Lucid getting caught out. He has to flash to get himself over this wall. The Void Seeker missing is such a huge deal.
There's Malignance, there's the harpoons from Rich as well. You know, the fact that Annie has the pen she gets from her ult, I believe. She gets pen now.
Yeah.
There's so much actual magic shred.
And now they're, Baron still goes over to DRX.
That's actually a thing to think about, is the fact that, so Pantheon gets armor pen on his ult rank.
Yeah. So basically what that means is that gold is even, pretty much, as far as stats are concerned, although there is a Baron as well, so it's a little bit in favor of DRX. We'll be able to take this inner turret at the same time. Aiming going to have that back stopped. But this is their last opportunity to go for a reset, but they're not going to be able to get any setup. They did manage to get the crab, so there's at least that, but this inner turret is just going to fall. DRX using this Baron so effectively. Still, Infinity Edge done for Aiming. That is kind of a big deal. Going pretty quick. We'll have that heal back up and available very, very quickly. Build spellbook things. All right, in goes Andal, finds 2. Magnustorm comes down. Beryl getting in amongst it, Aiming, trying to kite his way up, but Teddy gets on top of him with a killer instinct. Yehu does fall, but remember, Shiu wasn't even there. Sponge now going to get knocked up as Showmaker just not quite enough DPS in this fight, and DRX, they take 2 and they trade it for the Annie. Really scary, and DRX should be able to move back, break open this base, and look for an Elder.
Little bit maybe could have gone badly there, I think, for DRX.
Yeah.
And right now, Dplus really on the back foot. You know, we talked about the ornament gold being able to equalize some of the differential. There isn't enough ornaments in the world to make up for the Elder buff. Shockwave, which we've seen teams do before.
Well, right now, DK just desperately trying to hold on to their waves as Andal went so far up into the sky. Yehu gets into that backline, though. Tibbers goes down, and they're fighting against an Elder, and that is never going to work. As Lucid trying to flash his way out, but it does not happen. Still, Aiming is able to get 1 back. But DRX, they are so incredibly deadly right now.
The front line gone down. It's Lucid Showmaker aiming to try and defend, but it's such hard odds to beat the Ocean Soul in pocket, the Elder in pocket. They got to try and make a miracle defense here.
Yep, Lucid getting poked out by these Void Seekers as well. If 2 more of those land, I mean, he's just dead. As the Warrior Trickster does come on through, there is another Void Seeker to connect. They are dealing with these waves relatively well, as there is, of course, a Corki and an Orianna. They can actually handle that. But first Nexus turret is going to go down. Rich wrapping around to try and get the pincer move, and it's going to work. He roasts them all as the double comes through, and the Nexus will go down. 39 minutes!
Yep, seen recently. It's more so just the Cassiopeia can cause issues for him in team fights, but the Jarvan is going to be able to put a lot of pressure onto that Rise.
In this series, if they do get a win, they will confirm first place in the Rise group, as Rich and Andal have found Shiu, who is just going to flash, as Lucid's going to turn up, and he'd already skilled, so can't actually press that W button. They will just chase him down, and snip, snip goes the Gwen. Oh man, this has not started well.
Rich is getting some backup to survive, and those rough lane matchups kind of just vanished.
Well, there's the flash in. They're just looking to kill him, and they should be able to do so. Does manage to get a bit of health back with the level up, which is absurd. And Shiu is now able to flash out of the way of the Mystic Shot. Teddy is likely to die, and he will go down. A 1-for-1. And these are the grubs, and Lucid's going to kill them.
Yep. Lucid being pretty objective focused this game, trying to get the Dragon early. Didn't manage to, but will get those grubs. All 3, no contest.
Yep. And
live.
Ooh, never mind. That is going to be True Shot Barrage taking one of them down. Nicely done there by Teddy. A bit of evidence for it, as a cannon is going to get eaten up by this turret. So they still do get a fair bit of value with the fact that she was sent back home. Doesn't actually invest the teleport though, as he is just going to walk his way back up there. Trading waves, basically, over and over again. As we can see here, it is going to be entirely even. As a barrel? What do we mean by this? As he heals, but he dies. That is just going to be Feats of Warfare going over to DRX. And if you want to know the why, I don't have it for you.
The why? In the game.
Well, Showmaker now is just going to yell at Andal, but he is unbreakable in his will. He will go down though, so a little bit breakable. Wind becomes lightning, but doesn't actually lock onto Showmaker as the Cataclysm comes on through. Tempered Fate pulled all over the doilies. Oh no. Well, he's now maybe going to get punished. Meep Slap does come on through, as the flash from Beryl to lock down the cow. Does press R once again, but these Twin Fangs are just rocking him, and down he will go. Tempered Fate going to lock up the turret for fun. We'll see what the retaliation is going to be here from DRX, as Yehu has eaten a fair bit of time. There is the petrifying gaze. Miasma means he's going nowhere, although he's Rise, so he definitely just wasn't going anywhere anyway. No, never mind. Didn't actually do it.
Okay.
Kind of. It's kind of a weird situation. He was like, I have ult, and then he just got him right on the edge of it as well. Beautifully played. I don't know. Is my brain okay? Probably not.
Are you getting a bit too much culture?
I mean, this is day 3. And we've had some 6-gamers, we've had some long ones, as Amy just really wanted to take that magical journey, and he did so. Nice knock-up. Deadly Flourish is going to connect there as well, as Beryl looking to keep them all alive with this redemption. Aiming, not actually pulling the trigger on that R button, but there's a nice knock-up from Lucid as Rich going to get caught, and Sponge does have the ulti to keep him alive. The Venn diagram of the... Oh, okay, never mind. It just wears off, and down goes the Rift Herald as well, as DK violently taking away.
He's also... Showmaker's kind of in this position. He's not in a good position now.
Yeah, this is... maybe it's a fine position, as that is a lot of damage down onto Rich. Showmaker finding these Twin Fangs. Andal's not going to be offering any damage back, as Rich does go in, and that is going to be the kill finalized. Thankfully, Yehu turned up to make sure that that one was going to work, as the rest of DK trying to sort out this outer turret in the mid lane. It's likely just going to fall, as with Aiming and Lucid here, that should guarantee it. Yeah, there it goes.
A lot was committed to the top side to make sure Showmaker went down there, so...
Wasn't back up and available once again, but still a big win for DK. They'll be able to take down this turret, and the wars of attrition going on across this map seem to be all coming up DK.
Yep, finally able to get that third outer turret, and...
Jeepers. Getting the angle. right in there as this Dragon looking to be taken by DRX. This would be Soul Point if DK can get it. Headbutt Pulverize does come down. True Shot Barrage onto only Showmaker as Rich turns up as well. A Magical Journey going to be taken in by Showmaker, who does Old Flash to get himself out of the way. The Needlework is going to go wide, and now into the pit they go. Shiu is going to fall right after he goes between worlds. And the curtains getting cold here. Bit of damage onto Yahoo, but I think they should all make their way out. Very worried for both teams.
DRX are kind of just corralled in here, though. Like
Sponge lying in wait. There is the Realm Warp as the ulti does come on through. Tempered Fate just to lock up all three of them. Eats the CC there onto Showmaker, and he now gets to get those Twin Fangs out. Beryl! My God, this man, he really is epitomizing the Bard play. Is Rich. He was immune for a few moments, but there's the knock-up on the Sponge. He pops like a balloon, and now Rich in so much trouble. Beryl finds him, utilizing the Otacon to get the Cosmic Binding, and now Teddy, oh, he has to deal with the curtains, and he's not going to survive. Rich goes down as well. Beryl, man, I don't know. I just don't know. And Lucid going to be coming on over, looking to steal this one away. Rich will be able to get a bit of bounty gold as that top outer turret does fall down. But DK, they do get the Otacon. They will be able to get Soul Point. That is just going to be eaten up here by Showmaker. And an inner turret does fall over.
There is a Bard coming.
Oh yeah, who needs to be scared? If I was Rich, I would be scared. There's also Lucid, so another reason why you should be scared. Knockup comes on through, aiming going to turn up here as well. They did need a little bit more here as the Needlework does come down, but it is Showmaker that is able to secure it in the end. Northern side, as DK have started this. Remember, Showmaker does a lot of damage to the Baron as Teddy. Position now going to be shown. W does tag onto Shiu, who's looking to wrap around. There's a Tempered Fate to lock down the Ezreal, and now they're going to try and turn. Lucid does get himself out of there. The Magical Journey from Beryl as Yahoo is going to get separated. There is the Petrifying Gaze as Teddy. He's ticking down, but he's keeping himself alive. But finally he'll fall. And DK, it was a 4v5. They should have definitely won it, but they actually will do what they were supposed to do. And it's Beryl that locks down the kill. Is that 500? Does he finally get there? Was that his 500th kill? Because that would be hilarious. He got one!
He got one!
That's five. Is that 500? I think that's 500. Did he get one in the last game? I don't think he did. There it is!
What a game to get it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we get the milestones and we're like, you know...
Yeah, you remember like the closer one? Oh my god.
But we did have the hilarious owner one with the aura farming, with the T-posing.
Yes. It's in fact anything but, as Rich just gonna get poked out. My god.
Just a little
Why did Redemption? It felt like Redemption did so much, but now they've dove on top of aiming. Out, he gets flunged as Lucid, as Sponge actually able to take down the Jhin. Now Shiu in a little bit of trouble as Showmaker and Beryl making their way over. Shiu surviving for way longer than I think he had any right to as the Magical Journey gets Beryl out of there. Lucid coming on over as Andal. He is just free food waiting as Showmaker, he's going to go golden. There's Headbutt Pulverize right on top of the Cassiopeia, but she just yells at the Gwen. Down goes the Alistair, and it's a triple for the Snake Lady. And Showmaker says, not today, we ain't throwing this one.
Just when it starts to get messy, Showmaker looks like he's under so much pressure. Multiple members of DRX cannot take him down. And it looks like his win rate will be climbing up from 0.
50 points. Absolute insanity.
It's a big leap.
It really is. 3-1-3 as well for this Jarvan. Lucid having... The Vision does show off his position. Tempered Fate gonna catch Yahoo though. You cannot escape Beryl. DK also can't escape Beryl, but DRX in this game definitely cannot, as down goes Yahoo. And Shiu is just trying to survive. He will be able to go golden. That's going to buy a bit of time.
Nexus?
But base for Shiu is going to be the trade. And I don't know whether that's going to work out unless DRX really just wanted 3 games. And that sounds like a cultured opinion to me. As Sponge goes in, he goes out. And these Nexus turrets are going to follow suit. As, oh no, Lucid just put Rich in prison. Oh dear. his circle is going to be on the floor, but he is also going to be on the floor. Lucid going to be delivered to the fountain, but he has a GA and he gets out of there just in the nick of time. That's going to be another ace, and DK will bring us the distance. Another glorious 6-gamer.
You know, if it's Trundle, Trundle's going to become super tanky because you picked Cassante into Trundle.
Oh no, they did pick Cassante into Trundle, didn't they?
And if you try and focus somewhere else, Tom Kench is happy just to gobble them up, so...
I believe Unseen as well. As Lucid going to come down as well, so DK kind of wanting this one. The flash forward from Sponge is uninspiring at best. And now Lucid going to come over. Let's see whether this pillar's going to work out. Teleports coming in from everywhere. And DK, their health bar's well and truly low. As the hook just a little early, but still the stun's going to come in, and down goes Showmaker. And do anything to Rich, I'm pretty sure. That's
going
my
for a
head
swim.
cannon. Yep. Showmaker looking for a bit of an angle here. Does get over the rocks and out of the way. And there's the charm. It will connect as shoot. There it is. Yeah, going to be able to fall down. Gorgeously done. And gets the maiden for it as well. So now it's an even matchup on that bottom side. 2v2. Sponge going to be able to take the first dragon of the game. Next one going to be a Hex Tech as well.
So heal up. You don't have as much presence in the fights.
Ooh, Beryl eating honey fruit. But the rest of DRX are now moving over. Just one of these grubs to go over to DK. That's Lucid looking to play some baseball here with Sponge. Teddy turning up to try and do a bit of DPS. As there is the wall to come through from the Talia. But Beryl's the one that's sort of caught out of position. He is going to have to flash, does get himself out of the way. The Flame Chompers, though, are just going to block any sort of approach. So that will mean that DK can get themselves the objective. Has been their most consistent member as well. As Yahoo laying down the rocks. This could be a dive, 4 versus 2, but they're clearing out the minions very nicely. Showmaker goes in, immediately gets knocked up as they will be able to take down the Talia. There goes Andil as well as Beryl eats the gray health and then dies unceremoniously. But the kill does go over to Andil.
Cosmic Drive, because the Doc keeps the Cosmic Drive running.
He does very much like the Cosmic Drive, as Rich has pressed a lot of buttons. Shiu is just going to flash away, but I think that it's not going to work, as Sponge going to be able to take down the Yorick. Really nice gank here from DRX.
Towards Trundle and a Jinx as well. You'd love to get any alone time with power.
Well, there is the hook forward from Andil, but he doesn't actually hit a player. It is the wall that was right next to them, as now Lucid moves in, actually isolates Andil, and he's just dead. That's an excited aiming. And that is 4 kills for DK, and should be a dragon.
Catch Beryl, but there's this weird hitbox thing when he's like round a wall.
Yeah, it sort of got pulled into the wall instead.
Yeah, so he wasn't in melee range of him afterwards, so it's...
I mean, I don't think we should try and work out the math of Nautilus Hook.
Yeah, it's not weird.
It's not real.
It's got like a lollipop hitbox sort of thing. It's like thick at the end, so like it can kind of...
Yeah.
Really establish vision here, and the Sivir does just kind of melt waves now.
Well, Coolie Wall going to be denying Yahoo for the moment, as Shiu not going to be walking out of the way of that seismic shove. The rest of DRX going to turn up and put him in the ground once again. Teleport in, okay. Andil going to get slowed down by the zap. There's the hook that's going to connect onto Lucid. He will get knocked up as now Showmaker looks for the charm but doesn't quite find it. Teleport in from this Cassante towards the top end of this fight, but Shiu's moving down as well. These health bars are getting softened up. The rocks go down. Shelly once again is just kind of annoyed. Hooks connecting, is aiming, able to sidestep, but does still get pulled back. Can he get excited in time? And the answer is no. The resets coming in from Sponge. And the Abyssal dive actually from Beryl to try and get him out of dodge, but it doesn't work. There's the chain CC, and DRX spring to life.
Kind of on a timer to make something happen with the Ahri ult, and eventually it just times out.
Yeah.
And that's when the re-engage comes in from the blast cone.
We need, as DRX in this mid-game, to make this composition work, as now they're looking for even more. As Beryl, you may ask why, but not understanding is also okay too, as he is going to go down extraordinarily low, eats the gray health. There is now Showmaker making his way in. Lucid gets gobbled up yet again as Showmaker, the point-blank charm, is going to connect onto Andil, and they will get the first kill. Now the resets are coming in for DK.
But Trundle reset potential, the extra health, you know?
There you go. What about Tom Kench reset potential? He doesn't really reset, but like he would still be there as well.
Yes.
While the other champions are resetting.
Yes.
Potentially. As turret in trade for the dragon, and that is going to be feats of strength. I mean, you can probably do what you did and explain what happened. As once again, this time he's dead. Andil also getting close to that, but the reset is there. Sponge looking fantastic as his chefy self. DK are in the area, but full information is here for DRX, and they are starting this. The Mega Cone can possibly get them in, but that is going to be the knock-up on the Lucid. He does try to avoid a fair bit, but the Gobble, it does come in, but immediately they all just die. There's the all-out from Rich, is now Showmaker finally going to get here, and the Cassante will fall. DK, though, this is a 3 versus 4. I mean, that's what he's trying to do. He'll eat some honey fruit. Maybe that's going to help. As Andil going to move out of this brush. Boomerang Blade is going to come on through there as a charm. Does connect onto Andil. Super Mega Death Rocket finishes him off, but Shiu flashes away. He keeps himself alive. Somehow DK make this thing work, to be fair. As all right, we are straight back on this Artican, and DK are nowhere in sight. So it will just go over to DRX in the end. Shiu going to be trading that one for an outer turret towards his bottom lane. Aiming going to try and grab this outer turret in mid as well, as Teddy was looking to rotate over. Beryl is going to deliver himself as a distraction. And I guess that worked out. But here for DK, as it is just going to wear off. This Dragon still up and available as Andil going to get CC'd. It looks like the Drake is not what DK are looking for. As never mind, Lucid, can he actually get in there? The answer is no, but the King's Tribute gets him all of his health back. And now the Cassante is dead. Beryl looking to try and close him, but Andil gets a great hook. And Beryl is going to gobble up Showmaker. He now has a big shield, and Teddy is trying to kite it out. He does do a lot of damage, but not enough to save them in this one. And DK, they just leave Andil alive.
Where's someone on D+, like if Beryl dies quickly and then the resets come and they happen again and again and again, and this Viego's so fed. Teddy is doing so much damage.
Lucid?
Beryl.
Okay, well, there is some scary things happening here as Rich is in the front line. They are just eating Andil, though, and he's just dead.
Okay.
Now Aiming's going to get excited, runs towards Sponge, but DRX are out of there. Getting on it. Vision going to be there as Showmaker looking for an angle. Andil doesn't find the anchor though. The Tongue Lash will connect. Charm just barely not going to work out there as Lucid wants to come in, but he's not going to be able to take this Dragon as Chiu gonna get turned on the side. Showmaker looking to make his way over and the seismic shove goes wide. Sponge having to flash so early, and now the death machine of DK is moving forward and DRX are walking the wrong direction. Showmaker is looking for these resets. He's going to get them as Rich, he can't go all out of this game, unfortunately, unless it's via a loss, as Showmaker will go golden, and DRX, it looks like they're running for safety, but they're not on the red side anymore, as the double kill comes through for Aiming. He will die to Teddy, but that's the ace for DK. Down very, very quickly. King's Tribute's going to make sure that Lucid is going to be very healthy by the end as well, as now they need to watch out for Sponge. Lucid, he's going down very low, as these ricochets are so scary. Lucid, you cannot just die. He flashes out of the pit, but the resets start to come in for Aiming, as Andil is just dead. Sponge, he does steal away the Baron, but is it a Baron for Nexus? That's going to be the question as Rich goes in, then goes out, then he's dead. Aiming locks up the kill, and DK, they haven't taken down the carries, but the carries have no front line. They should be able to wipe out the base.
It's going to be tricky because there is a lot of wave clear, but there's 5 members strong.
Teddy's
it's
like,
definitely
no.
D+ favored. It's definitely D+ favored. Teddy has Sums, yeah, who has Sums. They have to try and clear the wave with the ricochets. It's D+ favored, but we'll see what they can do.
Well, Lucid is just going to run behind this turret to get this pillar down. Yahoo is going to go down so low. He finally gets chomped by Lucid, who gets himself in there. Beryl was tanking up the turret. Teddy? Yep, Teddy. These boomerangs are really hurting, and DK, they'll eat some honey fruit and they'll get themselves out. This turret gets angry at Shiu, and the inner turret is still alive, guys. As another ghoulie wall. My goodness, these boomerang blades. It's going to be a big deal on that one, as they do have vision. Lucid not wanting to give this one up, as he's just standing in amongst 4 people, and he's just dead, but what the heck was that? Was it even worth it? I have absolutely no idea, but it was so cool. Teddy does have one.
Okay, they're definitely taking this tower. Can they push further into the base? Looks like they won't go for it. Again, it's a short-range composition into a Jinx.
Whole health bars of damage as Showmaker, look at this. Okay, sees this health bar going down low. He's like, I'll take that. Yep. He was just saying, I ate it, I got it.
The GA that Aiming has. It's obviously a lot of safety against the burst, the resets, but If he stands his ground, that shield goes a long way. We just see turret taken down there by Dplus.
Necessarily being able to face check very comfortably. His aiming almost just takes his whole health bar and damage. What the heck was that? The gobble does have to come through. His aiming back over the wall as he flashes over the other wall. Beryl will finally go down as Lucid gets the subjugate off into this backline, but it's Shiu taking down inhibitors in the top lane, and DK just trying to keep them interested. There's the Abyssal dive over from Sponge.
To give you confidence to start the Baron. They're trying to move in, but it's still so scary.
Yeah, Lucid looking for a pillar angle as they do get the charm onto Andal. Moves himself out of the way. The seismic shove is going to miss, but Andal gets himself out of this one. Teddy is so scary. The ricochets do come on through as there's the redemption for a bit of a heal. 10 seconds on Beryl.
Teddy.
Yep, DRX are just corralling them. That boomerang blade could have been so scary. Shiu also going to have to flash the ghoulie wall. Can it help? Seismic shove, not enough. Mega Death Rocket connects onto Rich as they will be able to get the crab prize here for DRX. Teleport to bring Andal in, looking for a bit of an angle, but the ghoulie wall again. Oh, Sponge, he's going to get taken down by aiming. That's one of the resets now removed.
To Baron afterwards, an overstep from Sponge. He thinks he's found Showmaker.
Oh,
a moment
no.
to remember, Showmaker had Zhonya's as well.
Baron go down as DK.
I think you could sense the frustration that Dplus were just walking away.
Yeah.
The audacity they can just walk out of that play on low health. You're playing Viego. You're like, surely we kill them. Surely we get these resets.
On the side, the ward is going to spot him out as Shiu also going for a bit of a split push, but now going to get caught out. Heartbreaker comes forward. Shiu trying to get back to the rest of his team, but he is just going to get taken down. No one going to be there to answer it. And now DK, their push. Whether or not the Elder or the Baron are better. In a fight, the Elder's better. In a push, the Baron's better.
What I will say is because DRX's base is already kind of in shambles, they've already lost 2 inhibitor towers, it may be hard to defend.
The one thing I know is that they will keep the stat of the longest games in the league. As the wall is going to come down, it blocks some of the minions, but not too many of them. The Baron not looking too useful right now as Teddy gets exhausted. The rockets are going to fly through as Showmaker looks for an angle, does go golden. There is a bit of a flick back as Teddy now is so low and Beryl gets a massive knock up. The one man not afraid to start this fight, and he trades his life for the Fountain Laser. And DK still pushing forward. They have so much damage. These turrets just melt as Rich tries to get himself out, but the Dragon's Wrath, it is swift and merciless. And DK, after the biggest test that they've had so far in this culture-driven Rise group, will finally topple DRX and confirm first place.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.